Welcome back to the Lifelong Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Molly from Three Pines Leadership, and thank you again for joining me. If you are new here, hi, I'm Coach Molly. I'm a success and conflict coach, and I help people harness the power of conflicts to make the most of their life. Because bottom line, the thing I care about most in my whole life is changing the world. And I know I can't do it myself. I know it's going to take an army of us. It's going to take a tidal wave of people who are inspired to take massive actions in their life. If you want to be part of my Changemaker army, you need to understand what resilience is. You have to understand this concept of being able to bounce back no matter how hard the challenge is. It's the idea of looking headstrong, straight in the eye of the beast, of whatever obstacle or challenge comes your way. Because if we can do that, we can do anything, my friends. I want to know what you're doing. What are you doing to change the world? Tell me on Twitter at Coach Molly, on Instagram at Three Pines Leadership. Let me know what you're doing to change the world. And if you're not doing anything yet, what is your dream? How do you want to change the world? How do you see yourself changing the world? Remember to share this podcast with someone you think will connect with it, someone you think is another change maker. The more people we have listening to these messages, the more people we have in our Changemaker community, the bigger the change in the world will be. Imagine when we're all lit up and we're all inspired to make a difference. And going back to the idea of resiliency, I want to introduce our next guest here at the podcast. So earlier, I'm sure you've heard of it before, but I hosted a summit called the Mindset and Impact Virtual Summit, and one of our speakers was an amazing woman named Nicole Bernard, and she's a marketer. And she really opened my eyes to how big the world of marketing really is, because right now she lives, in normal world, but she used to be a farmer. Not just any kind of farmer, an organic farmer. And she did all of the marketing for that. And she did such an amazing job at marketing her little organic farm that she caused a little bit too much traffic. And I'm not just talking about marketing traffic, like real too many cars, the neighbors got upset. You can hear all about that at the summit in her wonderful talk. But the one thing I really, really gained from listening to her, talking with her afterwards, is the idea of transferring your skills and understanding that skills, there's so many different things that you're going to have to learn how to do. So if she has this hat on that she's a marketer and she's standing down on the farm and her husband needs help plowing the fields or whatever, well, she's going to be part of that. And she's going to be part of that, and she's going to learn whatever skills are required, and so is her husband. And I love that. I love the idea of being a jack of all trades, or whatever the Jill of all trades equivalent would be. Oh, yeah, she's so wonderful. But you get to learn a lot more about what goes into bouncing back. So I want to share this wonderful chat that she and I had at the Mindset and Impact Virtual Summit. So I'm going to stop chatting. So it's just, I'm going to throw it over to you guys. So here's me and Nicole talking at the Mindset and Impact.
Yeah, totally. I'm just like literally enthralled by your whole story that I'm like furiously typing out questions for you.
Yeah. Yeah,
right,
it was crazy. But
That's wild. That's absolutely wild. So I have to ask, you started in New Orleans and Katrina sent you away. What happened?
well, so we were in we were in New Orleans when Katrina hit. We stayed till 07. Katrina was in 05. And my husband is a carpenter by trade, and he fixed up a bunch of houses and renovated them. I think like 30 in 2 years. And he was like, I'm tired. I'm hot. We have to get out of here. And so my parents had moved up to this area, and that's how we ended up here.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Family's vital.
Right?
Family's so important in that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's huge. And actually, I don't know if we'll talk about it at all. And that's the thing that helped me too. Like, so feeling like this, like, you know, that completely like changed my life. Well, I lost both of my parents within a year of each other to cancer in 2016 and 2018. And so also too, putting that perspective, like we can always like change our business. We can find, you know, like, I don't know, that was like what really made me like change, like this is life. And like, these can all be taken care of, you know, like business wise and, you know, all that. So, but yeah, I meant to mention that, but I just realized I didn't.
Yeah, I lost my father in 2016 as well, and it was a total changing point in my life. Like, I feel like when you have those kinds of moments in your life, you have two options. You can either curl up in a ball and go, oh, woe is me, or you can pick yourself up and move forward. And you kind of keep your friends and your family close when these things are happening, but they're definitely, even if they're not here physically with us on this world, they're definitely there cheering for us for all of these important milestones in our lives.
Right? Yeah, totally. Like, I totally agree. I can feel my parents sometimes. And I'm like, oh, hey, there you are. Like, it's awesome.
Oh, that's fantastic. So life on a farm, that must have been wild and crazy. Like, you're learning everything. There's no job description when you work on a farm, right? You're building things, you're farming, you're marketing things, you're going to the market, you're hosting events, you're running a brewery. Like, how do you, first of all, how do you manage all of those different tasks you have in a day, first of all?
Right. I don't know anymore. Like, we get up early. Like, I would get up at like 3 to start baking the bread for the Saturday markets. And yeah, we just try to have routine. Like, we had chickens as well. And so we knew, you know, we had like our CSA pickup Friday, here's Saturday. So we would just kind of like build back our week of like what we needed to take care of in order to get all of that. But yeah, like I said, we were young. So we had like the energy to do it all.
Oh, what was the most, like, of all of the skills that you needed to learn on the job, what was one that surprised you the most?
Oh God. Well, and I would actually say, so I did more of like I took care of the animals, and I always grew up with animals, but watching my husband try and figure out like irrigation and putting like a pump into a creek. Like I said, we're from New Orleans, like, and he's a carpenter, so he's kind of like good with stuff, but I mean, I don't know. Oh, and then like so that, like, that was huge. That was like a huge project. And then, like, it rains a lot where we live, and we didn't know that like the first like season. And so, I mean, we like flooded all of our plants, and it's just like, what? Like, that's like a whole like 2 rows of broccoli that's not gonna like come up, you know? So just learning that each year, you know, and like weather-wise, like different patterns, and when we had to stop planting and things like that, that was really interesting. He has like, we have notebooks and notebooks of like when things were planted and when we need to redo it. And yeah, it was neat. Like, it really was. But yeah, there's a lot to learn.
It definitely forces you to look at opportunities to learn in every moment rather than saying, oh no, the broccoli got flooded, we failed as farmers. Right. It's like, let's take notes, let's figure out how we can do better next time and how we can learn from this. That's really neat.
Yeah, let's not do this again. And, you know, like, and sometimes like things didn't grow well. So we would have to like veer away from, you know, we planned on offering this in our CSA box, but it's not growing, you know? And then, so sometimes we would also work with other farmers. Like, I would contact other farmers, like, to be able to add into our box on things that we didn't have. So yeah, it's kind of like quick on your feet, like, okay, what are we going to do? You know, which is life. Like, I mean, that really is life.
Sounds like with connecting with all of the other farmers, and in an ideal world, if the brewery and the restaurant would have been able to thrive, you would have been building this amazing community. What if you had the ability to paint us a picture of that perfect ideal future still on the farm, what would that look like?
Yeah. So yeah, we had planned on, we were going to move to the waterfront. Like, so we're like we were in a little town, and then there was another little town about 4 miles from us, right on the Columbia River. And we were going to go there and have like the restaurant and brewery overlooking the water there, but then still keep the farm a little bit, but not for beer, because we couldn't have any more beer there. But people loved, you know, like seeing the chickens, and we had these really sweet sheep, and just like, because, you know, people don't really hang out on farms anymore. And so it's kind of like this whole experience. So, you know, and my kids still talk about it too, and they miss it. It was such a neat, like, way for them to grow up. And so, like, maybe one day we'll have it again, but, yeah, it would have been cool. And we obviously on our little farm wouldn't have been able to grow everything for the restaurant, but so we would have sourced from a lot of local farmers, which I think, like you said, community is key. And that would have been so neat to be able to do, you know, just different things and support other farmers as well. But
oh, I love it. But you had the unfortunate tragedy of the zoning bylaws, and then later on you have the issue of not getting the loan for the restaurant.
mm-hmm.
So it's like a 1-2 punch. And then your parents at the same time. So what did you tell yourself to keep going?
I don't know if I told myself anything, honestly. I don't know. Like, I would drink a lot of coffee in the morning, and I'd have a little bit of wine at night, and I'd just get up and do it again. Like, you know, I knew my kids needed me like that. I think that was the main thing that got me through all of that, because if I were to fall apart, then, you know, ripples effects. And so just staying present as much as I could for them and keep going is what got me through it.
Oh, that's amazing. So let's fast forward a bit and talk about when you took the leap to start your own agency.
Yeah.
What did it feel like having all of these quote unquote failures in the past, or things that didn't work out? What was it like to take that leap again?
Yeah, it was super scary. And yeah, it took me a while, because yeah, like you said, a lot of these failures, I mean, they felt like failures. Looking back now, I know that it was all meant to be, and it wasn't a failure. It was such a learning experience, and that it actually gave me like a lot of the skills needed to do my own business again. But yeah, in the moment, it was like, oh God, what am I doing again? Like, can't do this again. But it was my dad passing away in 2016 when I was like, life is short. You know, he was 71. It was like 9 days from when we found out he was sick to when he was gone. And I was like, shit happens quickly. Like, life is so short. I don't want to like miss out on anything because I'm scared. And so that's when I did it. And it's been amazing. Like, it's been so fun. And I've been able to help so many people grow their business, which is what I love doing, because like that's my roots, you know? And so when I get to see them win, it feels like I win too. So
what does it look like when your community and your clients are winning?
Oh God, it's like a warm, fuzzy feeling. Like, and I just like can't stop smiling. And I just, you know, and when they're like confident and excited and they're seeing results, like it's so contagious, you know, and it's just like such the best feeling.
Oh, how do you think it's made you a better mom?
Just knowing that, like, I am stronger than I thought I would ever be, and to be able to show those traits to I have a daughter who's very, very strong-willed, so I think she'll be fine. But you know, just being able to be there and know that like I can get through really hard things, you know, and just to be that example for them, because life can be very hard, you know, and they're going to need to know that they can get through it as well.
Oh, now let's look into the future for our last question.
Yeah.
In an ideal world, when your kids are all grown up, how will you have made an impact on the world?
So yeah, I have started kind of pivoting again, actually, but so instead of like doing marketing services for businesses, which is like what I've done the majority of since launching my agency, I've taken everything that I do for clients, everything that I did at the farm, like everything that I've tested, and I've put it into a program for business owners to do it themselves, because I get it that we don't have the budget to hire someone, and we don't have the time either. We're doing like a million things to run our business. So like I've put it all in there for them to be able to do it themselves. And that's what like I am so happy about. And I've gotten great feedback for it. And it's just helping. Like I just want to create community and help, and so we can all prosper, you know, like life's hard enough as it is. Like we shouldn't, like business should be fun, and you have to market your business to grow it. So yeah, that's my main goal. And to maybe have a winery one day, maybe not a farm, but a winery.
And you'll check the zoning bylaws first, right?
Yes, we will be all over those.
Oh, well, thank you so much for joining us at the summit. It's been fabulous having you here.
Yeah, thank you so much for letting me just have this opportunity and share my story.
Hope you enjoyed that, everyone. That's it for this episode. If you want to check out the Mindset and Impact Virtual Summit, you want to hear Nicole's chat about that and all of the other amazing speakers, you can see the summit for free. It's 3 days long, don't forget. All 3 days are jam-packed with amazing speakers. You can get tickets for free at leadershipmade.com. That's leadershipmade.com. So yeah, it's the end of the episode, my friends. Time for me to sign off. I'm Coach Molly from 3 Pines Leadership. This is the Lifelong Podcast. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you next time. And until then, my friends, remember, I love you. Be excellent to each other.